Hello, 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 everybody. This is Dr. Saundra, and welcome to my live masterclass on tonight. I'm going to give you a few minutes for you to come on in. Let me try to adjust this camera just a little bit. Let me get off of my class. I have been actually in a class for, the past since 6 o'clock. So just want to make sure that I get off of that. We're still not done, but I promised you I was going to be live tonight, and so here I am live. So come on in, come on in, come on in, and I'm going to just look and see what this looks like on my phone. Always like to do that because you need to know what you look like, right? So come on in, come on in. Hello, everybody. This is my monthly masterclass. I told you I will be doing a masterclass every single month. And so want you all to come in and join, tag one of your friends that's inside the group to get them on here on tonight, okay? Get them on here on tonight. You know, I'll tell you what, every time you turn on the news, you see some breaking story about something. I tell you what, but come on in, come on in. I'm going to go and let's get my group here on the phone. And so I can see what's going on here. Sometimes it's easier to see your comments there we go. Sometimes it's easier to see your comments on this screen than it is versus my computer. But I'm on my computer tonight. So come on in, come on in. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I am ready to teach on tonight the 7 steps necessary to be in alignment with your divine assignment. And so I'm ready to teach. Come on in, come on in. I'm going to give you a few more minutes, about 60 more seconds, and then I am going to get started. If you can hear me and see me okay, just put a 1 in the comments. Put a 1 in the comments if you can hear me and see me okay. Let me know that you can hear me and see me okay. Hello, Sharon. Hello, Jarita. Hello, Paula. Hello, Fifi. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. Y'all let me know if you can hear me and see me okay. Just put a 1 in the comments or say I can hear you, I can see you, that sort of thing, so I will know. Hello, Nora. Come on in. Come on in. I'll give people a few more minutes. Oh, thank you so much, Paula. Thank you for letting me know that. I'll give people, instead of 60 seconds, I'll give you 120 seconds because I know it does take time for Facebook to do what it has to do to get everybody in here. Hello, Minister Gail. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Come on in, everybody. This is going to be the first time I am giving you my steps. And when we get started, I'm going to tell you how I about not almost been on here today. on here tonight. Okay, come on in, come on in. Hello, Nora. Hello, Tamikia. Hey, I miss you. I miss you, Tamika. How are you doing? Come on in. Come on in. I'm looking both here at this camera and down at the phone because there are different, actually the numbers are different. The numbers are different on the computer, and sometimes comments, it seems like comments go faster on the phone, so I can see them faster on the phone than sometimes I can here with the computer. All right, all right. Give me about 30 more seconds, y'all, and we're going to get started, okay? I have literally been either coaching or in a class all day long. And so I'm drinking my lemon water to help my throat, something hot. Actually, it's lemon and honey. Someone told me to make sure I do that, so I'm doing that now. Okay. I miss you too. Oh, I miss you. All right. Thank you so much. Love you so much. All right. Come on in. Hey, Judith Mann, Dr. Mann, how are you doing? Good to see you here on tonight. Dr. Mann's in the house. Good to see you here tonight. So come on in, everybody. Come on in. I see people are joining. I'm glad to have everybody here. I am going to be teaching on tonight on the 7 steps necessary to be in alignment with your divine assignment. And let me tell you, more than likely, once I teach this tonight, you may not see it again because you won't see it again in this format. I just got off, finished, had a 3-hour session with my coach, and they're still going. Some of them are still going. She worked with me on Tuesday. She worked with some of us on tonight, and she has helped me to. I told her, let me give you this a little bit, and then we're going to get started. I told her that I wanted to go to the next level with my coaching, with my teaching, with everything that God has given me. And she has truly helped me to do that. And so you're going to see some different things here. My team is working in the background, and I'm probably making them really mad right about now. All right. And so anyway, just hold on, and you're going to see some new stuff. Hey, Kimberly Hines Winborn. Hello, Deborah. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, Judith. Miss you too. I tell you, I miss you too. Judith, did you know that this is for everybody. It hasn't been announced publicly yet, but they'll announce it soon. The county commissioners here in Wake County just appointed me to the board of trustees at Wake Technical Community College. So I am excited about that. And Judith Mann, you know what that means. And so you can be excited about that with me. If you're not a community college person, then it probably didn't mean a lot to you. But having retired and then having a community college want you to be on their board of trustees is a big deal for me in my profession and what I do. And so I'm very excited about that. So Judith wanted to let you know that. Okay, about 15 more seconds, y'all, and we're going to get started. All right, 15 more seconds, 15. Okay, so while I'm doing this 15, let me tell you this. So I really almost did not, I sort of almost talked myself out of doing this teaching on tonight. And I said, I can't talk myself out of it because I said I was going to be here and you have to show up unless something drastic happens and you just can't be here, right? So anyway, number one, I put this in the other post. My hair is a mess, y'all. My hair is, and I do not like to get on camera with a scarf on my head because I just don't do scarves. But this is a band, and one of my cousins called me and said, girl, put a band on your head and cover up that gray hair because that gray hair is not becoming to you, okay? And she's right, okay? One of the things that me and one of my cousins have, some of you have heard of cowlicks, okay? So I'm being this real and authentic with you. Can I be real and authentic for about 30 seconds? Me and my cousin, one of my cousins, we have cowlicks, and those cowlicks, we have little bald spots right here, and when that's gray, it just looks like a big old bald spot. That's, so it doesn't look cute. So anyway, so I always keep it covered. You always see me with my hair going to the side. You hardly ever see me with it pulled back because of that. But anyway, so it was so funny. And so I said, what can I do? I need to go live. And so she said, girl, get you a band. You'll be fine. Put the hair back in a ponytail, get you a band. You'll be fine. So, and then I said, well, I don't want to go live because everybody will see it. So anyway, bottom line is, so we got that part covered. Then Minister Gail says, I feel you. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not pulling down. I don't see all the comments. There we go. Minister Gail says, I feel you. Oh, Judy says, it looks good. Thank you so much. I had to go to several different stores to get one big enough because y'all know I got a big old head. And, oh, thank you, Julia. Yes, I'm so excited to be on there. Oh, yes, Tamika. Yes, I forgot your Red Wake text. So yes, I am going to be on the board of trustees. I am so enjoying that. I'm not, they don't do virtual swearing in, so I can't be sworn in yet. Swearing in has to be face to face, so they got to get the judge and everything, and so they'll do that. So I'm really excited about that. Anyway, so thank you, Judith. Looks good. Minister Gail says, I feel you. Yes, you know how it is, right? Okay, thank you, Norma. So I tell you, I found this really wide, because I wanted to cover up my hair because it's all gray, and I wanted to cover it up because keep in mind, I'm older than I look, so my gray goes back to about right there. Okay, you'd be surprised. And it's just a big round circle around my head. So anyway, I decided to go ahead and do it. So then I get on my class today. That was the first thing. So that happened. That was good. So then I get on my class today, and I'm thinking we're going to be on there from 6 to 7. 7 o'clock, she's not done. 8 o'clock, she's not done. 9 o'clock, you just saw me close the computer. She's still not done. I'll get the rest on the recording. But it was so very, very good. And one of the things that I said to myself is that I'm not going to continue to teach next level if I don't do it myself in everything that I do. So literally, Vision Building Women will go to the next level. I have a separate group for coaches. So if you are a Christian coach of any kind, if you're a Christian coach of any kind, then you need to be, if you want, of course, join us over in the group called Community of Christian Women mentor coaches. Actually, I think if you search on the word mentor-coach, it should come up, and join or ask to join that particular group. And so, because we're focusing in that group mostly on just coaching kinds of things. This group right here will be focused on moving forward in your calling, moving forward in your career, but at a different level. Okay, at a different level. So again, welcome everybody. Hello, Denise, Flora Denise. Hello, Sherry. Welcome, welcome. Come on in, everybody. I see that, I always stop when my mentor comes in the room. Dr. Shirley R. Brown, Apostle Dr. Shirley R. Brown is in the room. I want to give her acknowledgement on tonight. So welcome, welcome, welcome. So now I'm going to go ahead and get started. And with tonight's masterclass. It won't take me long to go through this, but I wanted to bring it to you. Let me tell you how I got to this point. So most of you, if not all of you, have either been in quarantine, meaning that your jobs have sent you home and you're working from home. I know some of you may have even gotten to the point where you may not even have a job, and because for whatever reason they had to lay you off and that sort of thing. And so I understand. Bless you too, Apostle. God bless you. Thank you so much. And so there are different reasons, but here's the thing. And actually I heard Dr. Brown say this in one of her lives this morning, and that is that we've been at home, or either even if you weren't at home, some of you have essential jobs. Some of you are nurses, you're doctors, you're frontline people, and some of you have essential positions, and so you weren't able to stay at home. But for those of you who have been able to be at home, or either not go home, but having to go to work because you're essential, one thing that I believe that everybody has done, all of us have slowed down to some extent. Okay, everybody has slowed down to some extent. And so the young lady I was talking to, she said, I feel, and this is what she said to me. She says, I feel as though I have wasted the past 30 days. And I asked her, I said, what do you mean wasted the past 30 days? And then she said, well, let me back up. She said, I feel like I wasted the past 45 days. And I said, what are you talking about? Wasted the past 45 days. And she said, well, I was given the opportunity to work from home. Okay. She said all of her evening kind of events, including church stuff, were either online or virtual in some form or fashion. And bottom line is, she didn't have to go out of her house to go anywhere. The only thing that she had to do was go to the grocery store or something like that. And so I said, well, I still don't understand why you feel you have wasted your time. And she said, she says, Dr. Saundra, I feel like I wasted my time, or I feel like I wasted time because I was given the opportunity to reset. Okay, that's the term I heard Dr. Brown use this morning. I was given the opportunity to reset, but I didn't do anything with the time that God gave me back. Okay. Now, I thought that was really, really interesting. She said that God had given her back time. Now, when we talk about getting time back, of course, you and I both know that you can't get time back. But what she meant was that there was all these things on her calendar. Okay. She still had her job. So she was working from home, still able to do that. She still had her job, but everything that she had at night, all the things that were supposed to be done at night, she didn't have. They were no longer on her calendar. Some had been canceled. Some became purely virtual, so she didn't have the drive time, that sort of thing. So normally she would have something to do, she'd say 5 of 7 nights a week. But now, really, she only really had something one time, and it wasn't really a big one time because it was a recording and she could watch it anytime. All right, so that was there. So what she meant was that I had all this time, and I didn't do anything with it. I didn't accomplish anything. I didn't move forward with anything. And I just feel like I wasted time. Now, the only response I could give to her was, well, you can't get the time back. Once time is gone, it's gone. You have to determine what you're going to do moving forward. And then this is what she said. And this is where I really just felt like, okay, I need to do this particular teaching on, or this week, okay? Because I really just popped in here and said, I think I popped in yesterday, said I'm going to do it tonight, right? And so she said, Dr. Saundra, she said, I contemplated over and over and over as to whether or not I should have been in that boot camp of yours. She said, a friend of mine, and I'll leave her nameless, and I said, who was in the boot camp that knows you? Because I didn't know that she knew anybody in the boot camp. And she said, a friend of mine was in your boot camp and told me what y'all did. And I said I didn't. And at the time registration was over, she told me she was joining. I didn't do it. And now I wish I would have, because I would have had a clear plan and had some things that I would be able to do now and work on over the past 45 days that I felt like I've done nothing. And so the first thing I told her was, first of all, don't feel like you're wasting time. Okay. Because here's the thing. Is that, and if you're writing, I need you to write this down, because now I'm going to give you a couple of principles, and then I'm going to give you the 7 steps. And then, like my dad says, I'm going to be through. All right. So number 1, God doesn't waste anything. That's one thing you need to remember, is that God does not waste anything. So and with her, and she and I had this conversation, this young lady and I had this conversation, the fact that she felt that she wasted 45 days is not a waste, because here's what she got out of it, is that she won't waste the next 45. She won't waste the next 45. All right. So even though she said she hadn't done anything, she hadn't accomplished anything, and that's kind of hard for me to believe, because she had so many different things that she was doing beforehand. But then as she talked to me, she said, well, Dr. Saundra, all those things I was doing for other people. I was doing other people's work. I was doing things for other organizations. I was running here and there, for other people. I was maybe doing things for the church. I was doing things for the sorority. But then when I looked at my own vision, when all that stuff had to stop because we couldn't come together face to face, when all that sort of thing had to stop, then what I realized was that I have nothing of my own that I can actually work on. And let me do one thing, maybe sit up a little bit. There we go. I think I'm a little bit too low from the camera. Okay, hold on just a second. I think this thing's slowing down. Need to figure out what's going on here. I think my camera was trying to adjust. I apologize for that. All right, welcome. Hello, Della. Hey, Della, Vision Coach in the house. Aisha, Janice. Hey, Sarah, Cassandra, my line sister, and hey, Corinne, how are you? Good to see you here tonight. Okay, I'm trying to see if this is my internet connection, because it definitely looks like it's going very slow online. All right, let me get out of this and let me come back in. Hold on just a second. Okay. All right. If the connection is okay, let me know. Let me know, y'all. It looks fine on my end. I just want to make sure that you guys are seeing me okay, because it looks like it's going very slow on my phone. Okay, I really can't tell. All right, so let me know how it's going on y'all's end, okay, when you actually hear this. Okay. Oh, Judy said it looks good. Oh, welcome. Then I'll keep going. So anyway, as I was talking to her and continuing to have this conversation, I said that as God does things in our life, or allows things to happen in our life, he's not going to waste anything. He's not going to waste anything. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Dell. Dell says now it's fine. It was going in and out. Okay, and I see it looks better on my phone too. All right. So, one of the things that I found is every single time, and this is a precursor to the 7 steps, every single time something happens in my life, I will ask the Lord, help me to connect it. Help me to see what it is, Lord, that you are saying to me, doing for me, wanting me to see, wanting me to learn. And so as I talked to this young lady, one of the things that she said is that I will never, ever be in a place where, because I have spent so much time doing everything for everyone else, when I got the opportunity, I didn't know what to do for me. That really threw me. I'm going to tell you, that really, really threw me because I never thought about it that way before. That so many of us are so busy, have so much going on that we work at our jobs, and you have to work because you have to eat, right? We work at our church, and some of us work at our church more than we actually spend time with God. That's a whole nother kind of teaching, but I want you to keep that in mind. Some of us work at our church more than we spend time with God. All right. Some of us have organizations, sororities, different volunteer organizations, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm in a sorority. I'm a Lady of Alpha, Kappa Alpha, Sorority Incorporated, and so and I do stuff there. I do, but here's the thing. But when all of that is gone, and you can't do anything but be at home, you don't have the church to be able to go to. You don't have, and like some of you have online services. We do. We have online services every Sunday. We're streaming from, the church. This past Sunday we did streaming, and we had parking lot, not parking lot, drive up. Drive up is what you call it. All right, but we still can't go inside the facility. All right, when you can't have sorority meeting, when you can't have PTA meeting, when you can't do all of the stuff that you're doing, and all you can do now is just be at home, then what are you going to do for you? And that became my question for her. She said, Dr. Saundra, if I didn't learn anything else, what I did learn is that I was never focused on my vision. And I use the term vision, goal, assignment, but of her, she used the term vision. She said I wasn't focused on it. She said people kept talking about having a vision and doing this and doing that and being able to do it, but I was never focused on it. And she said I knew I was never focused on it when I realized here I am with all this time at night, been complaining because I didn't have it in the past. Now I've got it. I've got the time to be able to do something, and I don't know what to do. So when she said that, I said, you know what? I've got to, even though it'll be a few weeks before I can offer being in alignment with your divine assignment, even though it'll be a few weeks before I can actually offer it. And I'm going to offer it one more time before I make the change, make the change to how I'm going to be offering my platform from now on. I wanted to go ahead and offer it one more time, but even though it'll be a few weeks before it's actually available, one of the things that I found was that you can't be in a position, ladies. You can't call yourself visionaries. You can't call yourself next level. You can't call yourself all of these things that we say we want to be. And then you can't say, I've got a vision. And then when God gives you the opportunity to work on it, you don't know what to do. And you sit and you do nothing. Every single day you procrastinate. You don't do anything with it. As I said, I heard Apostle Brown this morning use the term reset, that God has given us the opportunity to reset. And when you reset, when you get the opportunity to reset, you should do just that, reset. So how many of you have actually taken this time to do something with the extra time that you had? If nothing else, you have extra time on Sunday because you can't go to church. Most of our churches, the facility itself is closed. And so we're either streaming, or if you're not watching your church, you're watching somebody else's. But either way, you're not going to that facility. So if anything, then you should be actually having your Sundays, if nothing else. Okay. And so when she said that, my heart just got so heavy. My heart got so heavy because I was like, I don't want anybody to have something given to them, have an opportunity, and not be able to take advantage of that opportunity. Now, you will never hear me say that this virus is from God, because I can't say that. I'm not going to say it is. I'm not going to say it isn't. Okay. But what I am going to say is that God uses everything. God uses everything. He doesn't waste anything. So if you look at yourself, ask yourself, what have I been able to do? What have I been able to accomplish over the past, say, 45 days? I know for me, I kind of mark everything when school gets out, right? So the last day of school for our students here in Wake County was March the 13th. So my son has been out of school since March the 13th. That was the last day of school. All right. And so since then, he's been at home. My husband's been at home. And I've gotten a whole lot accomplished. But because I've already been through a point where I didn't want to waste any time, I knew that if I had a lot of time, that I needed to be doing something with that. And so that's where this whole course came from to begin with. And so after I knew I was going to be at home and my husband was going to be at home, my son was going to be at home, I said, I've got to use my time wisely. And then when I heard this young lady, and y'all, she was just so, for lack of better terms, outdone. Because she said, I had the opportunity, I had the time. And now she says, I don't know if we're going back to work, I don't know what we're going back to do, but I do know this, I'm not going to get that time back. So because of that, tonight, what I want to do is I want to bring you the 7 steps that are necessary for you to be in alignment with your divine assignment. What that means is alignment in terms of your time, alignment in terms of your resources, alignment in times of your study, alignment. Every part of you needs to be in alignment with everything that God wants you to do. Okay, so how do you do that? What are those steps? And this is what I teach in the boot camp. Now, of course, I'm not going, the boot camp is a whole lot of hours. So I'm not teaching you everything that I do in the boot camp, but I'm just going to give you the steps. And I want you to understand that we have an opportunity, and God has given us that opportunity since about mid-March. And some of us have had the opportunity to take advantage of it because some people have been to the boot camp and they've been able to do that. And then others may have learned it someplace else. But either way, we didn't waste it. So for those of you who feel like, well, you know what? I should have been doing this. I should have been doing that. You know what? God does not waste anything. So look back and ask yourself, what have I learned when everything shuts down? And now I've got time to implement what God has told me to do. All right. Now, were there some things I didn't get done? Yes, there were. But there are some new things. When I asked God for next level, he gave it to me and showed me how to do it during this time. Okay. You'll see some things begin to happen. You'll see some people begin to come forth to you that I was kind of nervous about bringing forth. But now I'm like, you know what, God, if you say next level, then the ladies are ready for it. Okay. So now I gave you one thing. God does not waste anything. Here's number 2. I want you to remember this, and I'm going to give you the 7 things. This is sort of like an undergirding here for you. The number 2 thing I want you to remember, principle, is that God never calls us from a point of being idle. God never calls us from a point of being idle. So here's the thing. Okay. All right. Della says, amen. I'm maximizing all this extra time. That's because Della's been through the boot camp. Okay. Hi, Sonia. Hi, Cynthia. Hey, Marvella. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Hey, Dr. Suter. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you here. All right. And so, again, the second principle, God never calls from a point of idleness. If you want, to move forward with your vision, if you want God to give you what you need to do in terms of vision, then you need to be doing something. Whatever you have, do whatever you have with what you have. Somebody write that down. Put that in your notes somewhere. Somebody write that down. Do whatever you have with what you have. Let me say it again. Do whatever you have with what you have. Because if you don't, you won't do anything. If you wait and continue for everything to be perfect before you move forward, you will never move forward. You know, one of my coaches, Marshawn Evans Daniels, she always says to start before you are ready. And I added a little bit on that. She says start before you are ready. And then I added, because if you wait till you're ready, you will never start. All right. And this past 45 days, and I use the term that I love the term that Della used there. Did we maximize that time? I can't answer that question for you. Ask yourself, did you maximize the time that you had during the pandemic? Some of you may have had to take care of relatives and take care of people. Totally get it. Some of you may have had to work extra hours because you're on the front lines, and so you were just tired. I totally get that. But those of you who were not, and you just had extra time, and so you watch extra movies on Netflix. Okay. Now, I haven't even seen Michelle Obama's thing called Becoming. I'm going to watch it at some point, but it won't be until the weekend. Okay. It won't be until the weekend. That's just kind of how I do things. All right. But, and there was nothing wrong with watching that. But here's the thing. Michelle has written her book. Have you written yours? Oh, come on now. Come on. I'm in one of those sort of, teaching modes, I guess you would say, where and it could be because I'm 57 years old, or I'll be 57 in July. It could be because I know that I've got a calling on my life, and I know that God is saying to do this and do that. I have no idea why I'm teaching the way I'm teaching now. But one of the things I do know is that the level of accountability that has to happen in this group has to go up. Now, can I hold each of you individually accountable? No, because I don't see each of you individually. If you're not in my programs, I definitely don't see you like that. But I had a session today with a young lady, and she was actually in the new coaching certification program, and she had her one-on-one session with me today. And as I was talking with her, she just says, "Woo, this is going to be so good. I'm so excited." And I'm so excited for her to be there. But one of the things she said, I never had the confidence to move forward before. And I spent 2 hours with you, and I get that level of confidence because you gave me a new way of thinking. Okay. Some of you just need a new way of thinking. Some of you need to be able to look at what God has called you to do from a different perspective. Okay. Because sometimes God will give you something, and when you only see it with your eyes, then sometimes you don't move, because you look at what it is that you can do only with that you think that you have. And so you think you don't have enough, so you don't move. But again, I think somebody put that in the comments. Yes, thank you, Della. Do whatever you have with what you have. Okay, so now let me give you the 7 steps. And these are the 7 steps that are necessary to be in alignment with your divine assignment. Remember, we undergirded that with 2 principles. Number 1, God doesn't waste anything. And number 2, God never calls from a point of idleness. That you have to be doing something, you have to be moving. Look it up in the Word. Everybody that God called to do something, they were not idle. They were not still. They were moving forward with whatever they had. Okay, everything may have not have been a bed of roses, but they were moving forward with whatever they had. Okay, so now let's look at the 7 steps. Number 1, you need to know your divine assignment. Now, I know you said, "Back, Saundra, come on." All right, no, you need to know what it is that God has said for you to do. And that doesn't come overnight. That comes with prayer. That comes with fasting. That comes with so many different things. But in the boot camp, we talk about that. We help you understand what is that divine assignment. And here's something I need to tell you. If you have not completed assignment number 1 that God gave you, don't expect him to give you assignment number 2. All right. Let me make sure that you heard that. If you have not done assignment number 1, okay, and some people just really, and if you say amen, either say amen or say ouch to this. I'm just gonna come out and say it. You might not like me tomorrow, but I'll say it anyway. Some people will say that God gave me this, and then they don't do it. And then they come back and say, God gave me something else, and they do something else, and then they do something else different. And I totally get that, because I've been there before. And then I began to question myself as to whether or not which assignment was I supposed to do. Okay, but here's the thing. See an assignment that God gives you through completion. If God tells you to write a book, don't not write the book. If God tells you to go back to school, to start a new job, to start a ministry, to start a business, don't not do it, Because if you don't do it, then what you need to do the second assignment is tied up in the first one. Oh, come on. What you need for the second assignment is tied up in the learning from the first. So if you don't do the steps that it takes to write a book, if you don't do the steps that it takes to do whatever it is that God is saying to do, and then all of a sudden you say, well, God has given me something else, but then that something else doesn't come to fruition. It doesn't happen. You can't make it happen regardless of what you do. It's because you didn't finish the first one. Because like we said earlier, God does not waste anything. And because he does not waste anything, when he gives you assignment number one, that means everything that you need to take care of to do assignment number one, you need to do all of those things, okay, so that when he gives you assignment number two, you will have completed. And here's something that I'm going to go on to step number two. All right. Some of us abort an assignment, and then you wonder why it is that when you try to step into something else, the second thing that you try to step into cannot be birthed, or it's birthed with defects. Ooh. Okay. So let me say that again. Some of you abort assignments, and then when you move on to something else, it doesn't work, or it's born with defects. That's because you aborted the first one, and you needed the first baby to help you raise the second one. Lord have mercy. I'm so glad this is going to be on recording. Okay, because I've only got 7 things written on a sheet of paper. Everything else I've told you I do not have written down. I just asked the Lord, you download tonight and I'm going to speak. All right. So that's the first thing. Know your divine assignment. Y'all, stop aborting assignments. Stop aborting assignments. Stop saying that I don't know what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. Or since it got hard over here, I'm going to stop. I'm not going to do it anymore. Stop doing that. Okay. And especially stop doing that, because here's something else that I'm going to go on to step number 2. The second thing, the other thing I want you to remember there is that when you abort, there are people's their vision, their goals, their dreams are being aborted also. And they're being aborted prematurely because you aborted yours and they were tied to you. Okay, number 2. All right. Step number 1, you got to know your divine assignment. Step number 2, you've got to know the seasons of your assignment. Every assignment that you have is for a particular season in your life. For some of you, God gave you something way back when, and you haven't started it because you haven't found the right time. Okay, it's never going to be the right time. You're going to say, well, let me wait till my kids get out of school, or let me wait till I get this promotion on my job. It's never going to be the right time, because you're looking for the time from your perspective, and God is saying, I gave you this particular assignment for a particular season in your life. If you miss that season, then you've got to wait for the next season to come around when God sets things up for that assignment to be done in your life. Okay, you just can't think that because God gave it to me now that I need to do it now, and this is the time. But when God gives you something, you need to ask God, is this the right season? Do I do this now? When is it? And here's the thing. He may not answer you the way you want to be answered, but what does the scripture say? Be still and know that I am God. There are some things that I started prematurely, and it got so hard that I had to stop. I had to go back and pick it up and finish it. But there were things in my life that were just too hard. There were things that when I used to work for community colleges, I'm like, oh my God, I started this too soon. My staff wasn't ready. Some things were not, I shouldn't have done this. And now that I look back, I'm at the point of, oh, I understand it. God gave me that assignment for that job during that particular time, and that wasn't the time to do it. It was time for me, but it wasn't maybe the time to bring my staff on board with it. Maybe it was a time for me to just plan it out and get it ready, and not time to bring my staff on. Okay, there have been things that God has given you that you've either didn't move fast enough, okay, or you moved too fast. All right. And step number 2 is all about understanding the seasons of your assignment. And when in the boot camp, we cover 4 seasons that every single part of your life goes through. Okay, it's biblical. Every single part of your life goes through these 4 seasons. And we cover that in the boot camp. And you have to understand those 4 seasons of your life, because as an individual, you can be in multiple seasons in different areas of your life. Let me say that again. As an individual, you can be in multiple seasons as an individual. In your marriage life, you can be in one season. In your professional life, you can be in a different season. In your child rearing life, you can be in a different season. In your financial life, in your personal life, in your spiritual life, you name all the different facets of your life, all the different components of your life, and you can be in a different season in every single one of them. And if God gives you an assignment God gives you multiple assignments, then those assignments can also be in multiple seasons. You need to understand that, because if you don't get that, and you try to put everything such that everything is going the same place, the same time, moving in the same direction, then you're going to find yourself so discombobulated, you're not going to know what to do. And yes, discombobulated is a word. I looked it up. Somebody swore out that was a Richmond County word, that I made it up. But it's not. It's actually a word. All right, so that's number 2, step number 2. So step number 1, know your divine assignment. Step number 2, know the seasons of your assignment. Now, step number 3 is one that is literally hands-on. And that is, you have to have a plan of focus for every area of your life. You must have a plan of focus for every area of your life. Now, one of the things that it was very difficult for me when I left my job and came back and started working for myself, was having a plan of focus for all the different things in my life, all the different things of my business, all the different things with my mom and my dad, all the different things for church, all the different areas that I had my hand in, that I had to have a plan of focus for that. And that plan of focus also dealt with number 4. And go ahead and give you step number 4. Step number 4 is that you have to have priority scheduling. So step number 3 is you have to have a plan of focus. And then step number 4 that goes right along with it is that you have to understand this concept of priority scheduling. And the plan of focus means that you have a plan for those things that you have to focus on. But then step number 4 comes right behind it and says that you have to understand, how do you prioritize those things? Now, one of the things, and this is where when the young lady and I were having this discussion that I started this whole teaching with, one of the things that she kept saying is, she said, I had no focus. She said, I had focus for the things I did at my job, and I'm still doing that because I'm working from home. I said, okay. She said, I had focus and I walked through these 7 steps with her. That's how we had this conversation. And that's why, I'm bringing this to you tonight. And so she said, well, Dr. Saundra, I had focus for things that I was doing for this organization that she's in. And I think she's a leader, an officer, I believe, based on what she was saying. She said, I had a plan of focus for that. She said, I had a plan of focus for this other stuff that I was doing over here. But I have no plan of focus for what I know that God had called me to do. And then she got in that again. She got in that slump again. I said, okay, let's get past that. Okay, that's gone. You cannot get back the last 45 days. Let's keep moving. Okay. So I said, well, you can get a plan of focus. You have to have a plan of focus for the different areas of your life. And when you do that, step number 4 is you have to learn to prioritize and schedule your priorities. And so many times we let distractions and all those things get in the way. And that's, as a matter of fact, that's one of our steps. Okay. So step number 1 is know your divine assignment. Step number 2, know the seasons of your assignment. Step number 3, you have to have a plan of focus for every area of your life. Step number 4, you have to understand and know how to priority schedule. Now, if you've ever been in the boot camp, those ladies that have been in the boot camp, I see several of them on here already, those ladies that have been in the boot camp know that this is not an easy task. It's simple, but it's not easy. Okay, it's simple to do a plan of focus. It's very simple. I walk you through the process of doing the plan of focus. I walk you through that process. I walk you through how you actually do it. There's a form that we use, and we actually walk through that. You get that as a part of the boot camp. I walk you through it, okay? But that's simple. That's simple because it's easy to determine what you should be focusing on, because you can have 12 things laid out here that you need to focus on. But step number 4, to apply priority scheduling to it, is where it no longer becomes simple. It now becomes whether or not what kind of decisions am I going to make across here. Okay. And that's where the simple is no longer simple. Okay. It's simple. The plan of focus is simple, but priority scheduling is not easy, because in priority scheduling, you've got to make some decisions. You've got to make some decisions. In step number 3, to do a plan of focus, I can say that I'm going to focus on, for example, let me give you something easy. Okay. I'm going to focus on cleaning out my attic. I've been doing that for I don't know how long, had most of it done. Then our heat and air conditioning went out, and my husband pushed everything back to one side again. I had everything back. I had everything in little piles in there. I knew where everything was going, what I was giving away, what I was throwing away, what I was keeping. And then when the heat and air conditioning went out, my husband pushed everything back together. So now I literally have to go and redo all that work all over again. Okay, so that is a plan of focus for me. I have to have a plan for getting that done. I have to make sure that I've got things like scheduling it with what do you call those people? The shredders. So I can get those people out here. A whole lot of things go along with that. And we walk you through that process of putting down what are the steps to getting your plan of focus done. We walk you through that process. Okay. Yes, the simple is no longer simple. Kristen, thank you. Hey, Lisa, my cousin's here. How you doing? And hey, Audrey, welcome. All right. And that's simple. It's simple enough that I've got to do it. Some of those steps are simple. Now, here is, and then say I've got that plan of focus of cleaning out my attic. I have another plan of focus in another area of my life. It may be that I want to, my husband and I are looking at maybe getting a new home and that sort of thing. So I've got some other things I've got to do there and that sort of thing. So, those things are easy. Not easy, excuse me. Those things are simple. Those things are simple because they're steps. You know how to do them and you just do them, right? But here, step number 4, priority scheduling. What am I going to do when? What is going to take priority? How do I determine what takes priority? People always ask me, Dr. Saundra, how do you get it all done? Okay, I get it all done because I have a plan of focus, and then I apply priority scheduling to it, and then I know when to say no. I know boundaries. I set boundaries for my life. I have values set, and one of the things that I teach in the boot camp is actually being able to do that. So this young lady comes to me and she says that she wasted her time. She said, because I had no focus. She said, I thought I had focus, but I was focusing on everybody else's stuff and not what God had given me. And so she said, I could have been writing. I won't tell you what her thing was that she wanted to do. But anyway, she said, I could have been doing something for the past 45 days and I haven't done anything. She said, I can tell you all the Netflix movies. I can tell you 1 through 10 on Netflix. I just learned the other week that Netflix has started to rate their movies, and look, they rate them between 1 and 10. But she said, I can't give you one thing that I've done towards the assignment, the vision that God has given me. Don't let that be you. Okay. So again, step 1, know your assignment. Step 2, know the seasons of your assignment. Step 3, have a plan of focus. Step number 4, apply priority scheduling to that. Step number 5. Step number 5 is the one that it will either make you or break you. Okay. Ooh, it's got 10 more minutes. I'm determined to be off of here in an hour. Step number 5. Who is my assignment? Know who your assignment is. Let me help you. You're not assigned to everybody. Everybody is not your assignment. Everybody is not your assignment. They're just not. Okay. You are not called to help everybody. There are people that God did not intend for you to help. Now, does God intend for us to spread the gospel? Yes, he does. Everybody you meet, everybody you see, okay, some may accept it, some may not. But we are all called all right, to give the good news of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. We're all called to do that, all right? But does God expect you to actually bring everybody close to you so that you can teach them, so you can work with them, so you can do everything with them? No. When he went to the next level, he only took 3. Remember that. He had 12 that he poured into the masses. Then he drew 12 closer to him, right? But he only took 3 with him when he had to go to his next level, and one of them went to sleep. Come on now. Come on now. That should tell you that you've got to know who your assignment is. And just like there were seasons of your assignment, there are seasons for your assignment. There are seasons when you are to work with people and not work with people. Come on. The reason that some of you can't move forward with your assignments because you still have leeches hanging on to you, and you're so busy pouring into them that you get so tired that you can't even pour into the one that God needs you to pour into in this season. Okay. Yes, I said it. Get mad at me if you need to. Whew. Whew. Let me just take a breather on that one. Hey, Carnella. Hey, Julia. How you doing? Ooh, take a breather on it, y'all. Some of y'all are carrying dead weight. Some of you are carrying weight with people. Some people in your life have had you in fear for so long, have taken away your confidence for so long. Some people have said, and here's something right here. I need, I don't know who this is for, but I need you to get this. I need you to get this. Whoever it was that did whatever they did, and the Lord has given me this number, 8.5 years ago. I don't know who this is for, but whoever it was that did whatever they did 8.5 years ago, you need to release them. Jesus, you need to release them so that you can help the person he's got standing in front of you in 30 days. Get it. Get it. Get it. I don't know who it's for, but you better get it. You better get it. You better run with it. God has somebody for you 30 days out, but until you release what it is that happened to you 8.5 years ago, until you forgive them, until you let it go, until you release it, because that's what's been weighing you down. That's the person you've been trying to please. Ever since they did something to you that long time ago, you've been trying to please that person, and you're not going to be able to do it. That person back there is not your assignment. Your assignment is standing in front of you. Your assignment is 30 days out in front of you. Get it. All right? Get it. Run with it. I don't know who this is for, but get it and run with it. Some of us continue to take people with us and to our next level, and to whatever our next is. Excuse me. And to whatever our next is. And let me help you with something. You can't take some people into your next because they're not ready. It could kill them. For some of you, you want to drag people along. You're scared to elevate because you're afraid that if you elevate, you're going to leave people behind and you won't have any friends. Let me tell you, when God elevates you, there are people up there too. Come on, come on, come on. I heard a friend of mine, I've been knowing her for a long time, and she's one of my business partners in another business venture that I have. And she said that she wanted a new community. She loved the community that she was in, but she wanted a new community in this area of her life. She loves the other community, and she'll still be with them and talk to them and all that kind of stuff. But the next level that she needed a different kind of community. Some of you need a different community. Some of you need to understand that everybody is not your assignment. Some of you need to release whatever it was or whoever it is that has been holding you back and move forward. Now, here's the thing. Don't go to your husband and say, that woman said that I need to release you so I can move forward. That is not what I said. Okay. If you and your husband are having some issues, you need to go get some good marriage counseling. Because more than likely, the issue is not because of you moving forward. The issue is probably something that has nothing to do with that. That's just putting little, ice on the cake or whatever. It's making it worse. Okay? Stop blaming everything on your wanting to move forward when really the problem could be something else. That's a whole marriage teaching. I don't do marriage teaching because me and my husband are different. Okay? All right. We've been married 30 years this year. 30 years. Praise the Lord. All right. So Julia's laughing. Hey, Marcita, Ohio's in the house. Welcome, welcome. So, when you look at the people that you are assigned to and you begin working with them, you'll see so many things start to change. You'll start seeing God open doors. Some of you are in jobs that I realize, totally get that you need to work, totally get it. But if you're working and you don't like the job that you're in, then look for another one. Stop saying you don't like it. Use your time wisely at home at night. Get your resume together. Get your Vita together. Do whatever you need to do so that you can start looking for another one. Stop being so scared that if you start looking for another job, you'll get fired. Maybe the reason that you'll say, well, when God gets ready for me to take another job, he'll open the door. How God gonna give you another job if you don't even put in the application? Now, believe me, I know that God can give you a job without putting in an application. I never asked for, never even applied for, never even knew the position at community colleges was open when they brought me there to be vice president. Never even knew it. Somebody saw me and they wanted me in that position. Okay, so I know God can do that. But there are also times, but that's my story. Your story may be that you need to put in the application. Your story could be different. Anyway, just want to tell you, who is your assignment? What are you doing? Let some people go. Everybody in your life cannot be on your front row. And let me tell you, your front row starts to change. The more you go up and the more you elevate, your front row begins to change. Okay? You need to remember that. All right? Woo! Julia says 30 years. Yes, Julia, you're still a honeymooner. You're still under 5 years, 3 to 5. I can't remember when you got married, but yes, Dennis. Yeah, the Grand Poobah and I will be married 30 years come July 28th. All right. So now, got 2 more, and we're going to do these really quickly. Number 1, know your assignment. Number 2, know the seasons. Number 3, have a plan of focus. Number 4, apply priority scheduling. Number 5, determine your assignment. Step number 6, know how to deal with distractions and hindrances and set boundaries. Deal with distractions, hindrances, and set boundaries. Let me give you a secret. If you don't set boundaries in your life, other people will set them for you. Okay? If you don't set clear boundaries in your life, other people are going to set those boundaries for you. And they may not be what you would want. Okay? I don't allow other people to set boundaries in my life. I don't do that. When I was growing up between 1 and 18, yes, my mom and dad set every single boundary, and that was their job. Set every single boundary. Okay? But now that I'm an adult, I set the boundaries in my life according to what God says. I make sure that I'm in the will of God. I make sure I'm not doing something unethical or immoral or against the will of God. And if I say that I'm not doing something on this day, then I don't do it. Okay? Some of you allow distractions to come in. And some of you, because you've done it for so long, I want you to get this. Some of your distractions look like opportunities and you don't know the difference. Ooh. Posted that yesterday. Some of you have so many distractions that you don't realize that you think that those distractions are opportunities because you don't know the difference. And they're distractions. They're hindrances. You got to understand the difference between a distraction and a hindrance, first of all. Okay, and then you need to understand, how do I set boundaries in my life so that I can do what I want to do as opposed to what other people want me to do. Okay, how can I do that? All right, so again, I'm telling you these steps because I want you to make sure that you understand these steps. I don't want you to, if we have to be quarantined for another, to the end of the month, then that means you have what, 1, 2, you've got 3 weeks. You can start moving. You can start moving. You can start doing some things differently. Okay? All right? So step number 6 was deal with your distractions, your hindrances, and set boundaries. All right? Then I teach you how to do that. And believe me, it's one thing. I'm not a master at very many things, but I am the master vision coach. And I know how to set boundaries. I will tell you no so quickly, it will make your head spin. And I do not explain. I do not give an explanation behind my no. The only person I give an explanation to, I'll take that back. My husband gets an explanation, but usually he doesn't need one. Okay? because I seldom ever tell him no. That's one thing. All right. My mom and dad always get an explanation. My brother gets an explanation. Other than that, and my brothers, I have two brothers, one older and one younger. Everybody else, some of my mentors, but most of my mentors have taught me. So they know about boundaries. So they don't even ask me for certain things because they already know about boundaries. I learned about boundaries from my mentors. I learned because they didn't set them. They taught me to set them. And so, hey, you learn from those people. And that's why it's so, so very important, y'all, that as you, Cassandra Rogers Bird, that's my line sister, y'all. She knows me better. If I had a blood sister, that would be it. I do have some people that are very, very close to me that know me like a sister, and she's one of them. And she said, yes, you will. I will tell you no in a heartbeat. You know why I tell you no? Because I've set some boundaries in my life. I've set some boundaries because it's very important to me. I've got several things that are important to me that I don't negotiate. And if somebody comes in and they try to negotiate that, or they want me to negotiate, if you ever ask me to negotiate my time with the Lord, it's not going to happen. The answer is no. If you ever ask me to do certain things that are just against what I believe, I'm not going to do it. Okay. If you ever ask me to choose between something and my son, unless it's my relationship with the Lord, and God is not going to do that because that choice has already been made for me. I'm always going to go to my son's games. I'm always going to do these kinds of things. And he'll be signing next week, y'all. So I'm so excited about that. I'll put that on Facebook later on, but he will be signing next week. All right. So I'm one of the things that you have to understand is don't get your distractions so mixed up that you think a distraction or a hindrance is an opportunity because you have not set boundaries. Okay. And you must set boundaries. Last one, and then we're going to be through. Number one, know your assignment or your vision, whatever that is. Number two, know your seasons. Number three, have a plan of focus. Number four, make sure you apply priority scheduling to your plan of focus. Number five, know your assignment. Number six, know who your assignment is. Number five. Number six, know how to deal with distractions, hindrances, and how to set boundaries. And the last one, number seven, is always reflect on your assignment. Always look at it. Did the fruit from the assignment actually happen? Okay. What that means is that did I actually see it through? Did I actually see the assignment through? What is the fruit of my assignment? Because here's something that I had to be taught, is that when you have actually completed an assignment, when you begin to see fruit. And that is, you begin to see the outcomes. You begin to see things happening. If you have to write a book and the book is finished, okay, there it is. Okay, you finished the book. Now, you can take that book and do many, many more things with it, and that's another part of your assignment, but at least you got the book finished. Okay, if you want to get another job and you've done what you need to do, you've done your research, you've done your applications, you've updated your resume, you've done whatever that needs to be done, and then you can put it out there, and then you get a new job. Well, hey, okay, that season is over. It's time for you now to make a decision. Are you going to go to the job that you got or not? So with number seven, it is you'll start seeing fruit. And you have to reflect and analyze that fruit that you got. And that is just so important, y'all. So again, tonight, I wanted to bring to you the steps. And you'll hear me talking about these over the next probably 7 days. And a little bit after that, the boot camp will open up later this month. I didn't come tonight to try to pitch the boot camp to you. What I wanted you to know is that these steps are critical. Today is what? May the 7th. Today's May the 7th. Don't waste any more time. Don't allow yourself to have done all this work for everybody else and then your assignment. And all of us have one, right? And then your assignment is not done. Don't waste that kind of time. Know your assignment. Know the seasons of your assignment. Understand what it is that you need to focus on and then focus on it. Be able to apply that priority scheduling. Know that you have to have it. You've got to know, how do I choose? What are things that I look at to choose between doing this or doing that? Okay. Understand who is your assignment and then be able to release those people that you need to release. And then deal with distractions. Stop letting your distractions look like opportunities. That's why you don't get anything accomplished. Because what you thought was an opportunity was actually a distraction, keeping you away from the thing that you should have been doing, the thing that God actually assigned you to do. And then the last one is to look at your fruit. Know your fruit. Know whatever it is that God has called you to do, and know what comes out of it. All right. So I'll put these 7 steps up on in the group later on tonight, but I wanted you to be able to have those. As I said, I'm going to be teaching from these 7 steps because I think it's just so important, y'all. I think it's so important. I'm not going to tell you that it's not going to lead to me offering you the boot camp. Yes, I'm going to offer the boot camp one more time before it changes, and we're adding another component onto that. And so this will be the last time the boot camp will be offered in the vein that that it has been offered for the last 4 times. And so I'm not even going to give you the link tonight. But I wanted you to have these. Keep watching for it. I'm going to be going into some in-depth teaching on each and every one of these subjects, or each and every one of these steps. Okay. I'm going to be giving you some principles behind it, going through some teaching on it. I won't say that I'm going to come on live every day. This is the master class for the month right here. I told you I do a master class a month. So this is the master class for the month right here, but there's more. There is more, y'all. There is more. And I want to thank everybody. Look at the comments. Hopefully anybody don't have any questions. Julia says, Odella says, congratulations on the signing. Yes, it's actually already signed. It's just a formality. They're going to do a virtual one. Millbrook is doing a virtual one next week, so we're excited about that. Thank you for that. Julia says there's a ministry in saying no. Yes, there is. There is a ministry. Y'all can see my hair is jacked up right there. There is a there is a ministry in saying no. Dr. Mann, thank you and congratulations on Wake Tech. Wake Tech is very fortunate. Thank you so much, Dr. Mann. I do appreciate that. Julia says this is good. Tamika says thank you. This is what I needed. HCC needs you on that board. HCC, is that Halifax Community College? I'm not sure which one HCC is. I think it's Halifax. All right. Cassandra says, God and his timing are awesome, and so are you. I thank you for these 7 steps. Mwah! I love you, my line sister. I love you so much. All right. And so Cheryl Thomas, like, oh, hey, Cheryl, I didn't know you were here. Hey. Thank you. And this was great. So thank everybody for joining in on tonight. I appreciate you being here. Lorraine says, thank you. Great refresher. Oh, Lorraine was a boot camp graduate also, so she knows this already. She's already been through this. Gretchen, this was very good. And I have to say, ouch, oops, ouch. I know, Gretchen, I know, been there, done that, said ouch many times. Thank you. Oh, Halifax Community College. Okay, gotcha, Tamika. Gotcha. All right, so y'all have a wonderful, wonderful night. Know that there is still much for you to do, that there is still much that God is calling you to do. Don't waste the time. Make sure that you do what is necessary to be in alignment with your divine assignment. Like I said, I'm not offering you anything tonight. I just wanted to go over the steps with you, and I'll be going over them in detail. I'll probably do about between now and the time I offer it, we'll have 7 lives, and maybe not 7, but go over some of these steps and principles behind these steps so you can really, really understand them and know that there's too much for us to do. You know, you look at the world, and let me just say this, I'm going to end it. You look at the world today, you look at just the pandemic, you look at the fear that have been in some of the saints of God. Okay. There have people, the saints have been fearful. People who have known the Lord all their life have been afraid of this pandemic. And I'm not saying that I didn't have a little hoo in me too. But I did what I was supposed to do, the washing of the hands and all that I did what I was supposed to do. Okay. And I had a conversation with my brother, and he and I were talking that, we're not, it's not like that we can't get it, but I can't walk around here scared. And y'all we have a job to do, because believe me, let me say this, then I'm going to quit. Okay. All right. That once the doors open back up, okay, once the doors open up, meaning that things are back to normal, whatever normal is going to look like, believe me, what God has put inside of you is going to be necessary, and you got to be ready. Mwah. I love y'all. Have a wonderful, wonderful night, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.